confidence that your team will not buy into the hype?
Just the way they work every day. You know, you guys that usually are riding on their laurels, it shows up on the practice tape. You know, mental errors, penalties, those type of things, and you know, like this team hasn't done anything, so they don't really have any laurels to ride on other than what you guys write every day.
Okay, our next question is going to come from Greg Allman.
Hey, Coach, I know you've been very careful with the Veterans Days with maintaining these guys, practicing as often as you are. We've seen Chris Godwin held out 3 times in the last 6 days. Just want to ask if he's okay, if there's anything behind that.
It's for me to know and nobody else to find out.
All right.
Okay, next is going to be Ed Encina.
Hey, Bruce, I know that you're going to try to simulate a game as much as you can with these scrimmages, but when you're assigning and evaluating players, how different is it going to be because you don't have game snaps to go on in terms of making choosing a roster?
Yeah, it's, like I said, every day it's those younger guys. I mean, it doesn't get any easier. They've got to show up in practice. Some of them are starting to show up in practice, and a consistent level of play, not just flash in the pan a couple of days, but it's consistent level of 20-some good days. So it's hard when you don't have games.
Okay, next is going to be Steve Isbitz.
Coach, what can you say about AQ Shipley potentially signing? He's a real big personality guy for sure.
Yeah, Q's a hell of a player, hell of a leader. Will give us great veteran depth in our offensive line, allows us to do some things in case of injury, in case of COVID, and just want a guy I trust with the utmost.
And what did you like from the trenches and all the goal line work yesterday?
I like the defensive line's penetration. Linebackers coming downhill. Was not very pleased with the running game of the offense down there, but that's tough sledding. And when they sell out, you can throw a pass if you want to. I want to see a little more toughness, so we only threw one pass. But I like the defensive side.
Okay, next is Rich Stroud.
Hey, Coach, Godwin notwithstanding, when you have a compressed amount of days, right, to prepare, even though you want to get as much done as you can, do you have to kind of manage things differently so that these guys don't sort of, get overworked in a sense, whether it's Brady or whoever it is?
Yeah, that's one of the things we looked at last year with the sports science is
Right.
what we were doing in practice. That can help with those injuries late and overworking them. And we're going to be very careful. I listened to what the numbers say on the computers, and some guys work really, really hard when they're out there. Other guys coast when they're out there. So the
Right.
numbers don't show it. And so we're going to rely on those numbers.
You've got a lot of leaders on defense, and whether it's JPP or Shaq or Sue or whatever, Levante. But for Devin White, does this have to sort of become his defense? I mean, now he's in his second year; he knows more what's going on. I know he's vocal. Is he got to be more vocal? Like, what is his role going to enhance? Just from
I think just he's a natural leader. So when you're a bunch of veteran guys. Just do your job. You lead by example the best way you can lead, and be accountable. And he is that. So, we don't have to have a rah-rah guy that's a cheerleader.
Right.
All those guys can handle it themselves up front. So, we're very fortunate to have 4 or 5 guys like that.
Okay, next is going to be Jenna Lane.
Coach, your young DBs have all talked about how Brady going against him daily has helped them in different areas, whether it's being able to read his eyes a little bit better, like not getting fooled by the play action, the pump fakes, things like that. Are you starting to see signs of those guys progressing in some of those areas where you can feel more comfortable as you get ready to go against another guy who's a master at selling things with Drew Brees?
Yeah, I think every single day they're improving, and Tom obviously helps the improvement. Understanding the defense, using proper technique, all those things help you improve every single day. So, I see steady improvement out of all those guys.
And also, have you determined what Brady's workload is going to be like for this scrimmage? I know you got to keep him safe, but I know you're also trying to get him some live reps too, since he doesn't have a preseason.
Yeah, that's another one of those things. We'll play it by ear.
Okay, next is going to be Mark Cook.
Hey, Coach, you had another young wide receiver get carted off the field today in John Hurst. Just curious if he is going to miss significant time. Where was he at kind of in the mix to maybe even make this team as a reserve wide receiver?
Yeah, we'll wait and see. I mean, it's a sprained ankle. Don't know how severe. Looks to be a sprained ankle, so it's too early to tell. He was doing a heck of a job. Yeah, he was in the mix, that's for sure, because he's got speed, he's got quickness, he's got hands, he's pretty tough. So I hate for him if he has to miss significant time because it'll hurt his chances.
That's all. Thanks.
Okay, next is going to be Zach Blobner.
Hey, Coach. We've talked a couple of times about how there's obviously no fans week 1 in New Orleans, and you've mentioned that you think it might actually be louder. Have you heard of any limits on crowd noise in stadiums? And do you think there is potential New Orleans might actually be louder with that noise than fans?
It's going to be, I think, 85 decibels, so I don't think it's going to be as loud, but it's still going to be loud. And when 85 decibels in the dome is a little bit louder than 85 decibels in our stadium.
Are you guys going to pump in crowd noise during the scrimmages at all the next couple of weeks?
Of course, yeah.
Cool.
Okay, next is going to be Greg Allman.
Hey, Bruce, we know the main core guys on special teams that are back from last year in terms of guys like Dare and Justin Watson and Ryan Smith. Who of the younger guys that you talk about, guys battling for roster spots, who have shown you things here in camp as being core, every unit special teams guys to help those guys?
Nobody yet. That's disturbing. Some are good at one, some are others. And, until I see them strike people and go run down the field, and whip a blocker and make a tackle, which is hard to do right now. We'll do some of it, but, that's the part you don't know until you put the live bullets out there, which we'll do Friday. But, it's one thing to do it in a drill and show you have speed and you can get in position, but it's another thing to really do it.
Okay, next is going to be Steve Isbitch.
Coach, from your evaluation, what kind of camp is Mike Evans having compared to what you saw from him last year?
He's in better condition, and he's having a great camp. I mean, his connection with Brady right now is all the work they put in the summer, and where it's really just growing every single day. And so, yeah, I think he's in a great place physically right now. So we got to keep him that way.
And are you planning to travel the whole 16-man practice squad to road games this year as a just-in-case kind of thing?
We have not finalized those decisions. It might be certain players just in case, and it could be all of them.
Okay, our next question is going to come from Ed Encina.
Bruce, when you watch Justin Watson in practice, I mean, and his improvement, what stands out the most to you? Is it the route running? Is it he's faster? He drops some weight. What has it been that stood out to you the most?
He's making a lot more grimy catches. I mean, tough catches over the middle behind him, and balls that struggled with last year. Obviously, his speed is up, and losing the weight, his speed is up, but he hasn't lost any strength. And so, yeah, he's making more contested catches.
Thank you.
Okay, we have time for two more. We're going to go to Ira Kaufman, followed by Rick Stroud.
Bruce, the league hasn't come out really with some kind of a uniform policy on fan attendance. They're leaving it up to each franchise. Bruce, you okay with that, or you feel it might give somebody a competitive advantage?
No, I'm fine with it. Whatever 17, 16,000 and 85 decibels it's not still going to be the craziness in some of the stadiums, but yeah, I'm happy for those fans that can get in.
All right, our last question comes from Rick Stroud.
Bruce, on the kicking battle with Elliott and Matt, I know you guys chart every kick, right, in practice. If it is close, you got the scrimmages, obviously, but with no preseason, I mean, does the edge go to Matt because of his leg strength or the fact that he did it last year? I mean, how will it, if everything's kind of even in terms of what they make, how do you decide?
They're the most consistent guy. You know, they both have enough leg strength. So, I mean, Fry kicked a 56-yarder with no problems. I don't think we're going to try too many longer unless it's at the end of the half. So, leg strength's no problem. So it's just the most consistent guy. And most, if there's a disparity, it's who's the most consistent inside 35.
Gotcha.
All right, that's all for today. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.